welcome to a new episode of Journey of a Christian Writer. In this episode, I'm going over characters, creating character interviews and backstories. Character interviews and backstories can be very helpful for authors to be able to know their characters very well. So, the difference between a character interview and a character backstory, character interviews are like questionnaires. They're like critical thinking questionnaires that writers can write to be able to interview their characters and to find out different things of their backgrounds. For example, their childhood, their teenhood years, and things like that, depending on the age of the character. Because some things you may not necessarily need to know if a character isn't adult yet. So, me personally, how I go about doing my character interviews is I do them in 3 different sections, depending on if the character is already an adult. If the character is already grown up and an adult, then I have a section for their early life, a section for their teenhood or teen years, and then a section for young adulthood or adulthood. That's how you can break down actually doing your character interviews. And then within each one of those categories, you can have specific questions that goes underneath each category. For example, in early life, you could ask them what is their earliest memory during childhood, for example. That's one of the questions that I have for early life for my characters. You could ask them what their favorite toy was or something during their childhood. What was their favorite subject in grade school or elementary or whatever. Just those early life type of questions that revolve around one's childhood you can ask in the early life section. Then for the teenage years, you can ask them about high school, what high school they went to, when did they graduate, what was their favorite subject in high school, or different things like that that has to do with that particular age group. Then for the adulthood, you could ask them more adult questions. For example, what is their occupation? What is their daily life like? Things like that. You could ask for the adult section. Then based on all of your answers of the questions that you ask the characters and the answers that you get by thinking things through, and doing your analysis on your characters, then based on that information, it can actually help you to write out the summaries of your backstories. That's something that I actually did for myself, is do interviews first and then use those answers to actually write the summaries of my character backstories. For character backstories, as we recall from previous episodes, character backstories are the past histories of characters prior to the present time story. So it's everything that happens in the character's life before the actual present time story that you're writing about in the narrative. So this will include emotional wounds, different insecurities or fears or traumas of the past life of the characters. Will include all of that inside your actual backstories. So by using the actual character interviews is what can help you to write out the actual backstories of your characters. But that's pretty much the difference between character interviews and character backstories. Again, once you have all of that information, it can help you to really know your characters more and how they would act within the actual story, because it's really important to actually get a good idea of how your characters are, prior to actually writing about them. That way it can be a lot easier for you to write the actual story about your characters. But that's pretty much all that I have for this video. And until next time, happy writing.